I never thought I'd kill a man with his own necktie. But there I was, in the penthouse boardroom of Apex Dynamics, the silk noose tightening around Victor Hale's throat, my throat. Technically, while his frantic eyes bulged in the mirror across from us. "You bitch," he gasped, his voice a wet rattle from my old lungs. "This body. It's mine now." The irony burned hotter than the bourbon on the sideboard. The man who'd stolen my life, piece by bloody piece, was choking out his last breaths in the shell I'd called home for 28 years. And as my hands went limp, I whispered the truth he'd buried deeper than his offshore accounts. "Not anymore, Daddy dearest." It started with a betrayal so raw it carved me hollow, like a pumpkin left to rot on a Midwest porch after Halloween. My name's Harper Kane, and back then, I was just the black sheep of the Kane dynasty, the disappointment, who ditched Harvard Law for a shabby little bookstore in Wicker Park, Chicago. The Kanes weren't old money. We were new blood, built on Victor Hale's ruthless climb from dockworker to CEO of Apex Dynamics, a conglomerate that swallowed retail chains like candy. He married my mom young, knocked her up with me, then built his empire on the bones of unions he busted and competitors he buried. Mom died when I was 10, cancer, they said, but whispers in the family pointed to stress from his affairs and all-nighters. Victor never mourned. He just promoted his mistress to executive assistant and kept climbing. My siblings? Twins. Elena and Marcus. Both carbon copies of him, sharp as switchblades, ambitious as hell. Elena ran marketing for Apex, turning small-town mom-and-pops into soulless franchises. Marcus handled ops, optimizing supply chains by firing anyone who blinked wrong. They called my store Harper's Haven, a cozy nook crammed with dog-eared sci-fi and indie poetry, that eyesore. Family gatherings at the Gold Coast mansion were a parade of digs. "Harper, honey, why waste your brain on dusty shelves when you could be closing deals?" Elena would coo, sipping rose from crystal flutes. Marcus would laugh, slapping Victor's back. Dad's empire could buy 1,000 of those shitholes. Victor? He'd just stare. His ice-blue eyes I'd see in the mirror every day, dismissing me like yesterday's stock dip. But they didn't know. None of them did. That shabby store was my Trojan horse, a front for the digital empire I'd bootstrapped in the back room, an AI-driven platform crunching market data, predicting retail trends before Wall Street woke up. Harper's Haven wasn't just books, it was code. Algorithms I'd coded late nights after slinging lattes and paperbacks. By year 3, my app, disguised as a loyalty program, was quietly acquiring stakes in mom-and-pops across the Midwest, undercutting Apex's expansion without them sniffing it. I owned the shadows they cast. But Victor's betrayal? That came like a gut punch in a dark alley. It was Thanksgiving, 2 years back. The mansion's dining room glittered with crystal and catered turkey from some overpriced Michigan farm. Elena was droning about her latest campaign, rebranding Apex as the people's conglomerate. Can you believe the irony? While Marcus eyed the decanter like it owed him money. Victor raised his glass, all avuncular charm, to family and to fresh starts. That's when the feds burst in. Suits, badges, the whole circus. "Victor Hale, you're under arrest for securities fraud, embezzlement, and conspiracy to commit murder." Murder? My stomach dropped like the Loopsell train at rush hour. Turns out, Victor hadn't just cooked the books, he'd torched them. Apex's off-books slush fund? Funneled through shell companies to pay off a whistleblower who'd fallen from a balcony in Milwaukee. The SEC had been circling for months, but Victor pinned it all on me. Emails forged in my name, Transactions routed through Harper's Haven's merchant account. Even a planted server in my bookstore's basement logging dummy trades. Harper's been running a side hustle, he'd told his lawyers. Angry at the family. You know how she is. The twins backed him, Elena with teary concern, Marcus with a shrug. She's always been unstable. I spent 90 days in Cook County Jail, the kind of place where dreams go to die under fluorescent buzz and the stench of despair. Bail? Denied. Thanks to Victor's judge buddy. My store? Raided. Shuttered under asset freeze. And the kicker? While I rotted. Apex's stock dipped 8%, but Victor's PR machine spun it as internal audit, buying time. He visited once. Through the plexiglass. His face a mask of paternal sorrow. This is for your own good, kiddo. You'll thank me when you see the big picture. Bullshit. He needed a scapegoat to shield his real sins. The murder was tied to a rival CEO who'd gotten too close to exposing the fund. Victor had outsourced the hit to a fixer in Gary, Indiana, but the trail looped back through my accounts. I'd taken the fall for fratricide in the boardroom. Out on a technicality, some pro bono hacker kid proved the server timestamps were fudged. I emerged a ghost. No store. No savings. Just a chip on my shoulder the size of Lake Michigan. That's when I found Dr. Elias Crow. Buried in a Reddit thread on r/conspiracy. His name popped, a disgraced neuroscientist. Booted from Northwestern for unethical experiments on consciousness transfer. Body swaps. They called it uploading minds via neural lace. A black market tech born from DARPA wet dreams. Crow was holed up in a Pilsen warehouse, peddling prototypes to desperate souls, accident victims wanting one more dance, billionaires chasing immortality. Cost? A kidney. Or in my case, every cent from liquidating my hidden assets. You sure? Crow rasped. His lab a jungle of humming servers and jury-rigged MRIs. It's not reversible. And the ethics? Forget, this is Frankenstein shit. I nodded, strapping into the chair, for drip cold in my vein. I want Victor's body. His power. His life. The swap hit like a freight train vertigo. Then clarity. I blinked. And there I was, tall, broad-shouldered, staring at my old face, slack on the gurney. Crow handed me the mirror. Welcome to the other side, Mr. Hale. Victor's mind, dumped into my body, sedated and stashed in a soundproof basement Crow rented under a fake LLC. The real Victor woke screaming, pounding fists that were too small, too weak. What the fuck have you done? I leaned in, my new voice a gravelly baritone. Payback. Vic. For the 90 days. For Mom. For everything. Slipping into Victor's life was easier than stealing candy from a toddler. His schedule was clockwork, 6 a.m. gym, 8 a.m. board call, noon schmooze at Gibson's Steakhouse. The security detail? Bought off with a wire from my personal account. Elena and Marcus? They bought the exhaustion excuse when I recovered from a minor stroke. Hell, I even nailed the family tick, that condescending chuckle when underlings pitched ideas. First move, gut the fraud case. As CEO, I greenlit an internal purge, firing the lawyers who'd framed me and shredding the evidence. The feds backed off, too messy to prosecute the golden goose. Apex rebounded 15% overnight. But revenge isn't a sprint, it's a slow bleed. I started small, twisting the knife in ways they'd never see coming. Elena's pet project? That People's Conglomerate rebrand. I axed it in a memo, citing misalignment with core values, then leaked her emails to the Tribune, juicy bits about bribing influencers. She got demoted to regional sales in Peoria. Her Instagram feed a graveyard of unfollows. Marcus? His ops optimization had gutted warehouses in Detroit, sparking riots. I discovered falsified safety reports under his name, tipping OSHA anonymously. Raids. Fines. A congressional hearing where he sweated under C-SPAN lights, denying everything. Family sticks together, he'd whined in my office. I smiled Victor's smile. Does it? Son, does it? The store, my shabby store, became the fulcrum. Turns out, Apex owned a chain of failing boutiques. Haven outlets, bleeding cash. I'd buried my AI platform stakes in them pre-arrest, turning losses to profits quietly. Now, as Victor, I proposed a revitalization, pump millions into rebranding them as upscale lit hubs, crediting Harper's vision in the press release. The twins seethed at the next family dinner, catered sushi at the mansion. Because Victor hated turkey. Dad. Why glorify her failure? Elena spat. Chopsticks stabbing salmon. Marcus piled on. That dump's a joke. We should bulldoze it. I sipped scotch, letting the burn mirror the one in my gut. Patience. Watch. The real fun began when I weaponized the corporation against them. Apex wasn't just retail, it was tentacles in everything: real estate, logistics, even a shady pack funneling cash to anti-union senators. Victor's safe? A biometric vault in the penthouse, holding ledgers that could topple governors. I cracked it on night 3. Gloves on, heart hammering like a jackhammer on Michigan Avenue asphalt. Pages of payoffs, mistresses on payroll, and bingo, a dossier on mom's accident. Not cancer. Poisoning. Slow-acting. Untraceable. Administered via her morning kale smoothies. Victor's doing. To free himself for Elena's mom, the assistant who'd clawed to VP. The twins knew. Marginal notes in Marcus's scrawl. Handle the loose ends? That's secret? My nuclear option. But first, the slow roast. I summoned Elena to my office, Victor's office. All glass walls, overlooking the loop. A throne of leather and ego. She strutted in, Louboutins clicking like accusations. Power suit hugging curves she'd augmented on company dime. Dad, you wanted to see me? I gestured to the chair, steepling fingers that felt alien. Too thick for the delicate code I'd typed 1,000 nights. Elena's future at Apex. Impressive. On paper. Her smile faltered, Botox lines twitching. I slid a folder across, printouts of her offshore slush. Consulting fees to a boyfriend lobbyist in D.C. This? Sloppy. And it ties back to the fraud Harper ate the fall for. She blanched. Foundation cracking like cheap plaster. Daddy. That's not, it was just creative accounting. Like you taught us. Ah. The hook. I leaned forward, voice dropping to that Victor growl that made boardrooms quake. Taught you? I taught you discretion. This is exposure. Threats hung unspoken. Leak it. And she joined me in orange. But controversy? I dangled mercy with a barb. Resign quietly, or I bury you. But first, endorse Harper's Haven as Apex's flagship. Publicly. Or the feds get a Christmas card. Her eyes, my eyes. Damn it, narrowed to slits. You're bluffing. For her? That ungrateful. I hit play on the laptop. Audio from the arrest night. Her voice. Tinny but clear. Coaching Victor on the frame job. Just pin the servers on her store. She's isolated. No one will believe her. Elena froze. Then crumpled. Mascara rivers on silk cheeks. What do you want? Really? I smiled. Cold as a windy city winter. Your blessing. And a tweet. Proud of my sister at Harper Kane Books, pioneering the future of retail. Make it viral. She did. From the elevator. Thumbs flying. Hate radiating like heat off a griddle. By morning, Harper Haven trended in Chicago. Influencers hawking my Shabby stock like it was supreme. Marcus was trickier, bigger fish. Meaner bite. He cornered me at the next board meeting, after I vetoed his latest layoff wave. Dad. What's with the soft touch? We're bleeding on those outlets. The room, sycophants in Brooks Brothers, leaned in, sensing blood. I met his gaze. Unflinching. Bleeding? Or evolving? Harper's model projects 20% ROI by Q2. Snickers rippled. Marcus barked a laugh. Her? The dropout? Come on. That's when I dropped the bomb. A slide deck. My AI's handiwork. Mapping Apex's vulnerabilities. Your ops. Marcus? They're the leak. Sabotage from within looks like family. His face went the color of uncooked dough. Post-meeting, I tailed him to a dive bar in Bridgeport, the kind with peanut shells and Pabst on tap. He was pounding shots, venting to a fixer type, same Gary scum who'd handled Mom's cure. I listened from the shadows, nursing a flat Coke, then slipped a burner phone under his elbow with a text cued, "We know about Milwaukee. Resign. Or join her." He bolted, crashing into me outside. You? What the hell? I gripped his arm. Victor's strength a revelation. Easy to twist. To bruise. Watch your step, son. Or the next fall's yours from higher up. He yanked free. Eyes wild. This isn't you, Dad. What's wrong with you? If only he knew. The twins conspired after that, whispering in the mansion's wine cellar, thinking walls had ears but not bugs. I'd planted them, tiny mics from Crow's black market kit, catching every plot. Poison my scotch? Elena's idea. Like with Mother. Frame me for insider trading? Marcus's muscle. They moved fast, spiking my flask at a gala for the lyric opera. All tuxes and diamonds under crystal chandeliers. I played drunk, stumbling into the coat room, then passed out in the limo. Woke in my old body, Victor's mind, trapped in the basement, had thrashed free during the swap's echo. Crow's tech glitching under stress. Chaos, sirens, ambulances, the twins' faces on the news. Tragic Hale family drama. But I was ready. From the gurney, my gurney, I hacked the hospital Wi-Fi, my fingers flying over the tablet like old times. Apex's servers bowed to me, firewalls I'd backdoored years ago. I unleashed the deluge. Victor's ledgers dumped to WikiLeaks. Mom's autopsy, faked as suicide, linked in a manifesto from Harper Kane. The twins' tweets, doctored to show collusion. By dawn, Apex stock cratered 40%. Protesters clogged the Mag Mile, chanting Kane corruption. Elena holed up in a spa in Scottsdale. Paparazzi swarming. Marcus fled to a yacht in Lake Michigan, only to be nabbed by feds on a yacht tax evasion tip I'd planted. Victor? In my body. He lawyered up, spinning kidnapping tales from the psych ward. Crow vanished, paid off with Apex stock I'd vested pre-swap. But the pressure mounted. The board ousted me as CEO, installing a puppet. I watched from a safe house in Logan Square, nursing bruises from the gala scuffle, plotting the climax. It had to be public, visceral, American as a Super Bowl halftime show gone wrong. The annual shareholder meeting at the McCormick Place. 5,000 suits packed in, screens blazing with charts. I'd crash it as Harper, the victim, with evidence that'd make OJ's trial look like a traffic court. The night before, a storm rolled in off the lake, thunder rattling windows like divine applause. I met Crow one last time, in his warehouse, the air thick with ozone and regret. The reversal protocol, it's risky. Mine's fray at the edges. I nodded, strapping in. Do it. I end this tomorrow. The swap back hit harder. Seams tearing. Memories bleeding. Victor's mind flooded mine, his conquests, his cruelties, a torrent I dammed with sheer will. Emerging in his body again, I felt whole, weaponized. The real Victor. In my shell, I dosed with enough sedatives to sleep through Armageddon. One last loose end. McCormick Place was a colossus of glass and steel, the kind of venue where dreams get brokered and broken under halogen glow. I arrived as Victor Hale, flanked by security goons who'd once been my shadows, now unwitting puppets. The hall thrummed, brokers barking into phones, widows clutching proxies like lifelines, all eyes on the stage where the interim CEO, some Harvard drone named Pritchard, droned about fiscal resilience. Elena and Marcus were there, front row, faces gaunt under TV makeup, lawyers hovering like vultures. They spotted me, waves of confusion rippling, rumors of my illness had them twitchy. I took the podium mid-pitch, mic in hand, Victor's baritone booming. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. Apex is resilient. Yes, but transparency? That's the real bedrock. Gasps as the screens flickered. My AI hijacking the feed. First, the ledgers. Redacted names unredacted. Senators. Rivals. The fixer. Then Mom's photo. Young and laughing in a sundress. Dissolving to the autopsy report. Acute organ failure. Consistent with ricin ingestion. Murmurs swelled to roars. Elena shot up. Dad? What the fuck? Security moved to hush her. Marcus yelled. Imposter. Controversy? I leaned in, eyes on the twins. Let's talk family. My daughter Elena, brilliant marketer, they say. But her creative accounting, it funded hits, including my wife's. Proof scrolled, wire transfers, burner calls. The crowd erupted, phones out, live streaming to CNBC, Twitter ablaze with Apex murder. Marcus lunged on stage, face purple. Lies. She's the one. Harper framed us. I sidestepped, grabbing his lapels in a grip that'd make a vice jealous. Harper? Oh. She's here. Spotlights swung to the wings, where my old body staggered out, Victor inside, groggy from the dose, wild-eyed and ranting. It's her. The bitch swapped us. She's in my skin. Pandemonium. Feds swarmed from the exits, my anonymous tip, timed to the second. Victor Hale, you're under arrest for multiple counts of murder and fraud. He thrashed, my old voice cracking. No, I'm Victor. She's Harper. Look at her eyes. But the eyes were mine now. Calm. Unyielding. The twins froze as cuffs clicked, Elena sobbing. Daddy. Fix this. Marcus snarling. You'll pay. You cunt. I whispered to them, close enough for only their ears. The store?
It owns you now.
Every share, every secret. Because in the chaos, my AI had executed the kill switch, tender offer to shareholders, snapping up distressed stock, merging Haven outlets into a new entity, Kane Consolidated, with me at the helm. The climax wasn't clean. Nothing in Chicago ever is. Victor broke free mid-scuffle, tackling me, his body against mine, in a tangle of limbs and microphone feedback. We rolled off stage into the orchestra pit, chairs splintering, the crowd a blur of screams. His fists, my fists, rained down, bone on bone, a mirror fight from hell. "Give it back," he howled, blood from a split lip flecking my shirt. I countered, knee to gut, the air whooshing out in a familiar wheeze. "You stole everything first."
Mom.
My life. Security hauled him off, but not before he spat the seed of doubt. "Ask Crow. The swap, it's not permanent." "She's fraying." Pritchard took the mic, babbling damage control, but the feed cut my doing. Outside, news vans clogged the Dan Ryan, anchors breathlessly debating, is this the fall of an empire or a daughter's revenge? I slipped out a service door, rain slicking the asphalt, Victor's Bentley idling. Driver nodded. I'd promoted him from Victor's old crew. Loyalty bought with truth. Back at the penthouse, I poured bourbon, real this time, staring at the city lights, a mosaic of power and peril. The board called, emergency vote, reinstating Hale as CEO. But whispers grew, he's changed. Soft on unions, pushing ethics audits. Elena's lawyer filed for conservatorship. Marcus's goons tailed my cars. The fraying started that night. Dreams bled, Victor's memories invading. His first kill, a union boss drowned in the Calumet, hands steady as he held the head under. I woke sweating, scratching at skin that itched like wool. Crow texted from wherever, reversal accelerating. Minds merge or shatter. Abort?
No.
The decisions got controversial, the kind that split water cooler chats at the next shareholder call. I greenlit reparations, millions to laid-off workers, union cards for Apex staff. Protests flipped to parades, stock wobbled but stabilized. But the twins? They lawyered up abroad, Elena in Zurich, Marcus in Dubai, plotting extradition blocks. Victor, in my body, pled insanity, spilling half-truths in therapy tapes leaked to TMZ. Body swap. Neural lace. Harper's Revenge. Public devoured it. Podcast dissected the Hale horror. Reddit threads on r/unsolved mysteries hit 100K upvotes. MK Ultra 2.0? Or just family drama on steroids? I fan the flames. Anonymous posts hinting at deeper conspiracies, DARPA ties, Crow's funding from Apex's Black Ops. It bought time, but the toll mounted. Migraines like ice picks. Voices, Victor's, whispering in my skull. You're me now. Weak. I pushed through, acquiring the last Haven outlets, rebranding the chain as Kane Legacy, bookstores with cafes, community hubs, no franchises in sight. The Shabby store? Ground Zero. Renovated into a flagship. Plaque reading, in memory of Margaret Kane, reader, mother, truth. The board turned next. At the emergency summit, closed doors. Cigar haze in a private club off Rush Street. Pritchard led the charge. Victor's. Erratic. The reparations? Suicide. Nods all around. Old Boys Club closing ranks. I stood, channeling Victor's bluster. Erratic?
Visionary.
Apex dies without this. Fist slammed table. They flinched. But Elena crashed the party, via Zoom from her Swiss chalet. Face fierce.
He's not Dad. Test the DNA.
Or the brain scans.
Gasps.
The controversy peaked. Leaks of my symptoms. Shrinks diagnosing dissociative identity. Protests outside. Half chanting free Harper. Half lock up the liar. I fled to the mansion that night. Storm raging again. Lightning forking over the lake like cracked veins. The twins had hacked the gate. Marcus's doing? Dubai, IP masked. They waited in the study. Elena with a Beretta from Victor's collection. Marcus cracking knuckles. Endgame. Imposter, she hissed. No time for swaps. Crow is ghost. I raised hands. Victor's voice steady. Shoot. And you bury us all. Marcus lunged. I sidestepped, grabbing a letter opener. Brass. Heavy, slashing his arm. Blood sprayed. Hot and coppery. Elena fired wild. Bullet shattering a Faberge egg on the mantel. Chaos. Sirens wailing distant. My security en route. We grappled. A three-way knot of grunts and curses. You poisoned her. I roared at Elena, pinning her wrist. For what? His approval. Tears. Real ones. He promised us the empire. Marcus rose. Charging, I tripped him into the fireplace tools. Poker clattering. The gun skittered free. I scooped it. Breath ragged. Pointed at them. Huddled. Kneel. They did. Eyes mirrors of my rage. But Victor's voice in my head. Finish it. Like Milwaukee.
No.
Controversial choice. I called the cops myself. Gun tossed aside. Intruders at the Hale residence. Send everyone. Dawn broke gray. Arrests made. The twins carted off. Charges stacking, conspiracy, assault. Victor's trial loomed, my old body. His mind, spilling more. But the twist brewed in the holding cell. Elena's whisper to her lawyer. Recorded. Tell them, Harper's the killer. She swapped. Then murdered the real Victor to steal it all. The reversal hit full force during Victor's arraignment. Broadcast live from the Dirksen Federal Courthouse, a stone fortress downtown, where justice chews slow and spits bones. I sat in the gallery. Victor's suit hanging looser now. My frame wasting from the neural war. He shuffled in, chains rattling. My old face gaunt, eyes darting like a cornered rat. Not guilty, he croaked when the judge asked, then lunged at the rail. She's the monster. Body swap, check the labs. Bailiffs wrestled him down. The courtroom buzzed. Reporters scribbling frenzy. Elena and Marcus, in orange jumpsuits via video link, nodded fervent. He's right. Harper did it. Outside. The press mobbed me. Victor's me. Mics thrusting like bayonets. Mr.
Hale.
Is this a hoax? Your daughter's claims? I pushed through. No comment. Bentley peeling out into traffic thick as chowder. But inside, the merge accelerated. Flashes of Victor's childhood. Fists from his drunk dad in the yards. The first deal sealed with a bribe in a South Side diner. My memories fought back, coding marathons in the bookstore's glow. Mom's bedtime stories of underdogs toppling giants. The line blurred. Who was the betrayer? The Avenger? Crow called, burner to burner, from a motel in Rockford. It's cataclysmic. Eject now. Or you both dissolve. Too late. The climax demanded finale. I orchestrated it from the penthouse. AI puppeteering the board. Emergency merger vote. Kane consolidated, absorbing Apex outright. Shareholders bid, stability over scandal. The twins' shares? Seized in forfeiture. Victor's assets? Liquidated to funds for victims' families, including a trust for Mom's real memorial. Controversial as hell. Op-ed screamed, vigilante CEO, Reddit crowned me anti-hero or sociopath. Protests swelled. Justice for Hales outside the store. Now a beacon with murals of Margaret Kane reading to kids.
Inside.
I signed the papers. Hand trembling. Ink smudging like tears. The true showdown was private. In the psych ward where they'd stashed Victor, my body. His rage. I bribed the night nurse. Slipped in at 2 a.m., corridors echoing with moans. He sat up in the bed, restraints loose, eyes locking on mine, his eyes in my face. Harper, he sneered, voice mine but timbre off. Come to gloat. I unchained him.
Slow.
The room spinning. Come to end it. We circled. Two wolves in one pelt. The air electric with unsaid sins. You think you won, he laughed.
Bitter.
This body, it's breaking you. Feel it, the guilt? That's mine. He charged. I met him. Fists flying in a ballet of borrowed brutality. Punches landed solid, jaw. Ribs, each impact jarring memories loose. You killed her, I gasped, driving knee to thigh. For power, he countered, headbutt splitting my brow. Blood warm. Power? She was weak, holding me back, like you. We crashed into the four-stand, alarms blaring distant. Straddling him. Hands on throat, his throat. My old delicate chords, I squeezed. The store. It was mine. The empire? Yours to rot. His face purpled. Eyes bulging, mirror of that boardroom night. Reversed. Twist, he wheezed. Grin feral. I knew. The frame?
Test.
To see if you'd fight. The bomb. Betrayal inverted. Victor hadn't framed me out of malice. He'd orchestrated the fall to force my hand. To merge my shabby genius with his machine. The ledgers?
Bait.
Mom's death? Cancer.
Real.
But he'd confessed on his deathbed, no.
Wait.
Lies frayed, his mind bled into mine. Truth. He'd poisoned no one. The autopsy? Faked by Elena. Ambitious spawn covering her own embezzlement. Pinning it on him. Victor had taken the heat. Planning to scapegoat me only if I folded. But I hadn't. I'd risen. Swapped. Become him.
You.
We're always the heir, he choked. Twins? Pawns. Shock loosened my grip. Sirens neared, nurse's call. He coughed. Rolling free. Merge with me. Or lose it all. The reversal peaked. Neural storm. Visions colliding. Bookstore shelves morphing to boardrooms. Mom's laugh echoing in deal closings. I collapsed. Bodies entwining. Minds fusing in a blaze. When orderlies burst in, they found one man, Victor Hale, or Harper Kane, muttering of swaps and secrets, bloodied but breathing. The aftermath? Debatable as a Supreme Court leak. Charges dropped, insanity plea, sealed records. Elena and Marcus? Convicted on conspiracy. 15 apiece in Terre Haute, their appeals drowned in the scandal. Apex, now Kane Dynamics, thrived under a reformed me. Reparations hailed as model corporate penance. The store? A chain of 500 community anchors from Seattle to Miami. No Shabby in sight. But the ending?
Bi kịch o có hậu.
I wake some nights, staring at hands that feel neither mine nor his, wondering, did I avenge or become the monster? The board whispers of retirement. Protesters chant my name, hero or hubris. Crow vanished for good, but his last text lingers. You didn't swap bodies. You swapped souls. Who's winning now? The city hums below, lights winking like conspirators.
Et pour Bourbon?
Toast the rain-streaked window. To family. To fresh starts. And to the truth. Whatever's left of it.